Hello, hello. I am so excited to have not all my speakers, some great speakers here with me today from Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. I'm so excited to kick this off. We just wanted to all come together to show you what we're all about and why you need to become part of Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. I have experts from around the globe that are here to get your health in order on a busy schedule. I have hundreds of registrants every day coming in, VIPs. People are just on fire for this. And I hope you all join me today. I have Irina, Katrina, Carmen, Danny, Beth, and Sean here with us. Thank you guys all for joining. This is so exciting to me. So first, I wanted to just give a little bit of history of how it all came together. So Nicole wrote a book about a year ago, and I thought, well, why not create a masterclass series around that book and bring it to life? So I got on the internet and I found what I feel to be the top experts for that I could have chosen around my book. And I need to point out first, before we start going around here, that every single one of my experts on this series all had the exact same foundation. So I have doctors, we have therapists, we have energy healers, we have nutritionists, we have everything on here. And every single one of you guys all said the same thing, that the mindset is where it all starts, that our health actually starts in our mind. And the second thing that just, I know it was interesting that we all also had a why and a reason that we got started. And I just wanted to point out that every person on this panel took their why, took their hard times and turned it into something good to change lives. Because what would this world be like if we just all did that? So I just want to kick this off and just go around and talk about what our why was. Why did you say yes to me for this? So I'm going to start with Sean because I really liked what Sean had to say here. So Sean, tell us what intrigued you to be part of Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, why you think it's going to change lives, and what was your favorite part of our interview?
Well, for me, I think the biggest thing that made me want to say yes was just the ethos behind it, right? I mean, you reached out to me, we hopped on the phone, we had a really, really good conversation just with regards to our shared ethos for, bringing together the mind and the body and knowing that they feed into each other, right? A healthy body contributes to a healthier mind, and a healthy mind contributes to a healthier body. And that was a big part of the driving force behind my coaching business, Backcountry Strength, and getting people in that combination of physical activity and getting out into nature, because we know that those things in conjunction, again, contribute to a really healthy mind and mental well-being. Mental health is one of the topics that I'm absolutely most passionate about in my life. It is a cause that, I regularly volunteer my time for. It is a cause that, was a big driving force behind me, starting my coaching company. And so the idea of bringing together this panel of experts from around the globe who all have this shared mission of helping people improve and optimize their overall health, not only physically, but mentally as well, was just something that I felt like I had to get on board with.
That's awesome. Backcountry Strength. You just have such a unique business there, taking the fitness. Everybody thinks that they have to work out in the gym, that trainers will already just put them on a program or whatever it is. But you take people outdoors and you show them that there are other ways to keep active and to keep fit. And being outside, we all know, is better for the mental health. So I love what you do. Danny, my friend, you are such an inspiration. So you got to tell me your why. Why did you say yes to me? And don't say it's because I just hounded you and didn't let you say no. Because there's a little bit of that. but I got it. So tell me, Danny, what's your why? Why did you say yes to me? And let's hear a little bit about your story, my friend.
Well, I think for me, it's I've always got this mentality of what's the worst that can happen, right? And of course there is. Like if you put your life savings on a lame horse, you're probably not going to come out of it very well. But everything I've done is about what's the worst that'll happen. So obviously I had a car crash, is how I ended up an amputee. That wasn't great. But off the back of that, getting back into playing rugby, which was always my true love, eventually going back into scuba diving, becoming a scuba diving instructor, becoming a shark display diver, all the things I've done have gone along the path of, well, I'm going to give it a go, and if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to doing what I was doing before, but I'll probably be better at what I was doing before because I've gained some more knowledge. So it was exactly the same mentality when you contacted me. So, well, what's the worst going to happen by me being involved with a load of like-minded people that are all about healthy mind and healthy body? I was an international athlete for 12 years, and I understood, as every athlete does, that the body on its own will not perform. It's the mind that goes with it, and probably the mind that will always, in the world of sport, it's the mind that generally gives up first before the body does. The body's capable of so much more, and I know that through the world of performance sport, and I also know that through the world of finding ways to hurt myself throughout my life, that it's often the mind that will give in before my body does. So, and that's, now I've long time retired from sport, it's the ethos I carry forward. So when I'm coaching clients, it's all about finding their why they want to achieve something. If I'm working with teams within business, it's helping them understand the vision of the business and understand why that business is going in that direction. If they don't understand it, they'll never engage, they'll never deliver on it. So the why is the purpose has always been the driver for me. It drove me all the way through my life, through sport, through everything I do now. So yeah, it just comes down to that. I just had that when you contacted me the 87th time. I thought it wasn't. I
wanted you, Danny. I wanted you.
As you know, like, sports people are not always the most organised. We are good at what we do. We generally do what we do because we didn't sit still long enough in the classroom and the teacher kicked us out of the classroom. I find that's often how people find sport.
Isn't that true?
So we do need a nudge sometimes. But once I understood what this was about and the kind of people I'd be alongside, then it's a no-brainer for me, because go back to what I said at the start, I understood as an athlete, you can't perform in business, you can't perform in life, you can't perform in sport if you don't have the healthy mind that goes with the healthy body.
That's right. You know, Danny, my editing team made a special note to me the day that they edited your video, and they said that was probably one of the most inspiring videos they've ever watched. So that's pretty amazing. So anybody needs a keynote speaker anywhere around the globe, Danny is your guy. And you want an inspiration, just look up Danny Crates, because boy, so super excited to have you on, my friend. Carmen, my butt.
Gotta unmute first.
So let us hear what your why is. Why did you say yes to me? And Danny's already used up because I wouldn't stop bugging you. So you got to think of something else.
Well, selfishly, I mean, we've known each other for more years than I want to admit. So like 20 plus something. So, I mean, it's an opportunity to work with you because we've wanted to combine forces for a long time between nutrition and fitness. But, you know, it's funny, I'm sitting here listening to Danny, and it's like, I used to be a figure skater when I was younger. And I always remembered my coach back then saying figure skating is 2% physical, 98% mental. But at 12 years old, that meant nothing to me, right? I was just like, well, why can't I do this axle, right? But like, I've been teaching nutrition now for coming up to 15 years. And in the beginning, I was just focused on, you know, the physical diet as the foundation of your health. But over the years, I've realized I've had to do more continuing ed courses in motivation and like mindset, because that drives the action, which is, you know, the behavior, which is going to give them the results. So if someone's not, if they don't have their mindset right, it's going to be very hard for them to make changes in their life. The other thing is that what your entire mental health is a reflection of your gut health. Yes. So like all these women coming to me with depression and anxiety, and they're thinking, oh, you know, I've got to go on these medications. And I'm like, we got to look at your gut health, girl. Like, let's go examine your microbiome and see if you're lacking in these specific species of bacteria, which increase our neurotransmitters. So the two are interconnected. You can't do one without the other. You can't improve mental health without, you know, working on your diet. You can't do fitness alone without diet. Like, they all work together. It's a holistic thing, right? And like all of us sitting here right now are complementary to each other. You know, we always have to take a holistic perspective when it comes to health. So I think it's great that you've brought together, you know, all these practitioners and coaches from very much complementary practices, which help everyone achieve a healthier mind and a healthier body. So
you got to tell us what was your why to get into nutrition? Because you shift your careers for that. What was your why for that?
So I used to work in advertising. I was a food marketer. I would work for all the evil food companies across Canada, but I hated it. I knew it was the devil at the time, but I went through a really severe burnout in my late 20s, early 30s. And I was going to the doctors. I was doing everything they were saying, but it wasn't normal that a 28-year-old woman couldn't get through the day without a nap. Like, why was I sleeping 10 hours and still tired in the morning when I'd wake up, but then be tired all day? And then why can't I sleep at night? And so I wasn't getting the help I needed through conventional doctors or through the medical system. I had to go on my own rabbit hole. And, that led me to the natural health side of things, and realized I had adrenal fatigue, and, eventually healed myself. But I walked away from my former career and put myself into nutrition school. And then I was like, this is what I have to focus on, because so many women and men are dealing with this career burnout, right? Just this constant exhaustion, this constant insomnia, waking up at 3 a.m., rinse, repeat, and they're not getting health in the conventional medical system, because the conventional medical system is set up to deal with death. They're set up to deal with, do you have a disease? They are not set up to deal with, is your body in the process of creating disease, which we call dysfunction. So like, I practice functional nutrition, which is like running labs to see if your body is en route to creating a disease state. So they're not focused on that, right? Like, we're all about optimal health, not dead isn't good enough for me, or you're fine, but I don't want to be fine. I want to be optimal. I want to enjoy my life because my body is in shape. So
no, that's what I wanted to point out. I knew what your answer was going to be. Sometimes we just got to take our health into our own hands.
You do.
And that's the reality to it. And each one of us here, we have a why of why we did that. And I just wanted to point that out. So Katrina, my friend, you, girl, are an inspiration. Boy, oh boy, the lives you are going to change through this and the transformations that are going to come. My bodybuilding friend, who's she knows her competitions, but she knows how the mind works in that. Up at 3:30 a.m. for a workout if she can't get it done throughout the day, that kind of gal. So let's hear your why, my friend, and why did you say yes?
I said yes because I think that there's so much marketing and advertising and money spent on all the fad diets that there isn't enough going out there for free for people to understand what actually needs to happen to make the transformations. And I think that the more we can come together to provide education to the masses, the better educated they are to make the best decisions for them and for their health. Because like you said, we do have to take health into our own hands sometimes. So I wanted to join. Obviously, I stand behind healthy mind, healthy body. It's one of the biggest things. I think that once you have made the decision to do something, it has to come from your mind to do it, that there is very little that will ever stop you. But it has to be a firm decision that you are going to go through this path. So I wanted to just be a part of bringing it to the masses and to as many people as we can, that, there's multiple better ways to do things that are sustainable, that will transform your life, transform your health, that will get you living optimally, that are not fad crash diets. It's not about chasing skinny. It's about being strong. It's about building muscle. I think that there's so much pressure on females, especially, that you have to be a certain size instead of lifting a certain weight. And I think we are, as a population, more under muscle than we are over fat. So that's part of it as well. And I just wanted to be part of, helping as many people as we can, regardless if they're paying for something or not. I want them to have the education to know that there's help out there and who to seek.
So true. Beth, my friend, I don't know how Beth did it, but Beth helped show me all about energy and how that works from across the country. So Beth, let's start off by you telling me why did you say yes to me, and what's your why? What's your why?
I was intrigued by the combination of mind and body. too often when we have an issue, whatever it is, we look at it in a siloed approach. That's what Western medicine does. We just look at us as bodies and we give us a chemical. I loved that you were bringing together all of these different practitioners and techniques to take a look at health as a totality, as looking at all parts of us, exercise, nutrition, mind, body. Loved it. The combination just really spoke to me, because it's never a one thing fix everything, right? Like you can eat right and not exercise, not get what you need. You need to do a holistic approach to your health. Loved it.
Right. Awesome. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the energy and what you do with that?
I'm an energy and sound therapist. Almost 12 years ago, I witnessed the shooting death of my friend. She was leaving her husband, and it was amicable until it wasn't. And I was behind her when he decided it wasn't going to be amicable anymore. And I couldn't come back from that. I couldn't figure out how to get past it. I struggled for 8 years until I discovered tapping, and it literally changed my life. And once I discovered how simple, and that's not quite the right word, but how easy it was to apply it, I'm like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I didn't expect to be setting up a business at 55, but I love every minute of it. I love the people that I get to help and the lives I get to change. And it sounds hokey to say it's life-changing, because everybody uses that so easily. No, that's a cookie, honey. This is life-changing. So it's changed my life, and I love the changes that it's bringing to my clients.
Beth, our interview, you taught me so much, and I have to tell you, I tap every day now. It's something that I do. And it really helps, regulate my emotions and all these. And I
Love it.
I will admit, I thought it was hokey pokey. I thought there's no way in this, whatever. And wow. So I'm super excited for people to tune into your interview and see what that's all about. And if anybody on here needs a schedule, they can reach out to me. All of my contact info is there, and we will show you what we can offer. Irina, our last but not least, my friend, let's hear about why you said yes to me, and what made you think that this is something that you'd want to be involved in.
Oh my God. First of all, I just love everybody who is sharing here. It's like, I'm all about magic, energy, and manifestation. So to me, it's like universe always put the right people together. There are no coincidences in the universe. So we all meant to be here together. And like I said, together we are superpower. And why did I say yes? First of all, I love you as a person. So there is energetic pull. And another thing is just, it's all like all others who already expressed, it's all about bringing the awareness to the people, because people are so closed off, just living through the news and just consuming all that garbage in, and obviously producing garbage out. So for me, it's all about bringing the awareness, how we can actually create our own reality, because we are living in illusion, but we create reality with our own thoughts and our own actions and our own emotions. So that's why I said yes. And I know we are going to impact many, many, many lives. And for somebody, maybe it's going to be like an eye opener, because a lot of people do not hear about it. And that's why I am here, and I'm here to deliver a lot of value to everybody who is going to be listening to this series.
I really hope people take advantage of your offer, because I know what it's done for me, my friend. So that is pretty exciting. I now want to talk a little bit about a highlight, one top thing out of our interview that you would want to give people a little nugget just to share with what they can expect from our interview. So Sean, I'm going to take it back to you, my friend. What was one thing that stood out that you'd love the listeners today to know about?
Well, for me, it was actually two things that sort of go hand in hand with each other, right? One is making a point of moving your body with purpose every single day.
Yep.
Right. So oftentimes when people start on, a wellness journey, they sort of get in their minds, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week for an hour, 4 days a week for an hour, whatever it is. Right. And we sort of have that structure sort of inceptioned into our minds from all of the various fitness media and that type of stuff out there. Right. But from my perspective, that leaves too much opportunity for us to say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Right? Because if I get, 4 free passes out of the week, then today can always be one of those free passes, right? I would much rather someone take the mindset of, I'm going to do 20 minutes of purposeful movement every single day, because it creates more likelihood that you'll stick to it and stop putting it off and off and off and off. And the part that I like to encourage people to pair with that is take that outside, right? Go get some of the natural mental health boost that we get not only from moving our bodies with purpose and exercise and getting those endorphins flowing, but getting outdoors, getting that vitamin D, ideally getting out into a green space.
Okay, on a side note, I think Sean should also be a radio host. Listen to that radio host voice. Sorry, every time I talk to you, I think about that. But you are so right, Sean. And we put so much pressure on ourselves. I don't have the money to invest in a coach, or I don't have the time. It doesn't take much to go outside and go for a walk. Find a hill, grab yourself some dumbbells, some walking weights of some sort, and just get moving. I love it. Danny, my friend, top takeaway from our interview that you want the listeners to know about?
I mean, I think when we spoke, Nicole, we covered a lot of bases and we covered a lot of ground.
An hour.
Yeah. And, I can talk. And I think you asked one question and that was it. But I think for me, it's always about you don't have to achieve massive things all the time. I think we set ourselves up for trying to achieve huge things. We don't always celebrate the small wins. So it's really important because it's those small wins that are going to get us towards the big things we want to achieve in our lives, whatever that looks like: business, personal lives, sporting lives. We're all heading in different directions, we're all heading towards something sometimes, but we get so focused on this goal, this result, this thing we want to achieve, that sometimes we forget it's those small stepping stones that will get us there. So, and that ultimately comes down to how I lived as an athlete, and it's what I call the athlete mindset. And it's a really simple way of living. Everything I do is taking things that are quite complicated and try and make them seem quite simple. And so we look at the athlete mindset. How can I be 1% better each and every day? What can I learn from today to take into tomorrow? It's keeping that really simple, because it's the understanding that the 1% all start adding up very, very quickly. But also understand as well that we can't nail it every day. We can't win every day. But if we have the mindset of how can I improve each and every day, we're gonna achieve it a vast majority of the time. It's gonna get us much closer to where we want to be. It's not a promise you're always going to achieve what you want to achieve, but it's going to get you a lot closer than you probably would have ever got. It's that mindset that I've always sort of tried to hold on to.
That's powerful, Danny. Carmen, my friend, what's your top takeaway you want our listeners? Just a little nugget of all the good that you have to share with everyone.
I like that you assume that I remember. I think we talked about why women who want to drop, 10 to 25 pounds, who start at the gym, the weight doesn't budge. Yeah. And we talked about some variables behind that and what I recommend that you do instead, so that, which is really, you need to focus on getting your energy up, fixing the sleep issues, correcting those hormonal imbalances, so that if you get your energy back, you're going to be in a much better place to go to the gym and reap the rewards. And now you're actually going to be able to build muscle, as opposed to just keeping your body in fight or flight, which is what's happening to most women, right? So
absolutely. And under eating as well. We talked about not eating the right foods.
The under eating. Yeah. Most of my women have to eat more to lose the weight. So under eating is a big one. So the order of which you target things in your health goals matters, right? And so often and nothing against fitness. I'm 100%. I send all my clients to the gym, but you're not going to reap the rewards until you get your hormones in place, right? So the order that you attract things matters. Get your energy back, get your sleep on track, then get to the gym and start building muscle sooner than later, because that's the number one thing we need to do for anti-aging.
Oh, you just said the word there, anti-aging. I think all the words are going to come up now.
I mean, it's not what I teach, but like I let me tell you, I'm promoting fitness trainers like crazy because like that's what we got to focus on as women to stay out of the homes. So
well, you have you have two great trainers on here that Katrina and Sean you can refer people to now that they will treat them well. Katrina, my friend, what was your top takeaway from our interview? I could probably tell you 5 right off the top of my head, but what was your favorite?
I think there was definitely a few. Just going off of what Carmen said too, I feel the exact same way. I know for sure that sometimes when I'm eating something that I know tastes good and I'm enjoying family and friends and it's a great meal, I know that it's gonna affect my energy in the gym the next morning. So I have to really weigh out all the odds of like, is this worth how I'm gonna feel? Because I know what fuels my body. I know what feels good. And yet sometimes we always go with, but sometimes we go with what tastes good in the moment, but doesn't feel good the next. But some of my biggest takeaways probably from our interview was basically the big idea of like our non-negotiables. Especially when you come down to losing those last 10 to 15 pounds, those non-negotiables are going to be what gets you there. When you are, have your step goal, you have your water goal, you have your protein goal, your nutrition goals, you are training, hard with intensity. That's what's going to always set you apart. That's what's going to push the last little bit off. So I think that was one of the big takeaways from our interview.
The non-negotiables, that was mine. That was my number one. We had a good conversation about that for sure. Thank you. Beth, what was your fave about our conversation, my friend?
Empowerment. That with the techniques you're going to learn from energy medicine, from tapping, you can take charge of your emotional health. So the events that happened that are dragging you around by your hair don't have to continue doing that and defining you. And the skills that you learn, you can use anywhere, anytime. There's all sorts of stealth things. If you're in a tough meeting, I can show you how to neuroregulate yourself, bring yourself back into calm so you can participate without flipping your lid and not being as
I'm doing it right now, Beth. You taught me.
You go, girl.
I was actually doing it while you were talking.
I love it because I want people to know that they're not helpless. They're not at the mercy of anybody else, medical system, nothing. There are things that you can do to take charge and feel in control of your life and your emotions.
Absolutely. Love it. And last but not least, Irina, my friend, what was your fave about our conversation?
You know what? I just want to go before the conversation. I remember before we had the interview and you were like, Irina, let's touch upon this and this and that. And then whatever life is not going to take us, right? And it's interesting how the energy works. Like once you trust the energy, we always end up channeling whatever information is really important at this particular moment. And our conversation just turned out a completely different path, right?
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it. And again, like Carmen, I don't remember everything what was said, but the only thing I just wanted to point out that a lot of people do not know that they can actually change the results of their life in every area of their life.
Yes.
And our results, whatever we are experiencing today, is the true reflection of our mind, of our thoughts, right? So if you really want to know what you're thinking about, look at your current results, look at your life results, because they are never lying. And that's like the biggest connection between our mind and our results, right? So the idea is that what is manifestation? Manifestation is actually bringing everything from the energetic level to our physical reality. We are constantly manifesting by thinking certain thoughts, by feeling certain emotions, by expressing ourselves by the actions, right? Everything in combination is exactly creating our reality that each one of us experiencing differently. So we all manifest with each breath that we are taking. But majority of the people are manifesting unconsciously. And I'm teaching people how to do it consciously, because we actually can command our mind to do exactly what we want. And it's a practice we actually, this is the line that I love, that we train our brain muscle the same way as we would train our physical body.
Yes, it's so true. And your mind will always believe you. You tell your brain something, those days, the negative self-talk that we do, some of the things that I say to myself, I would never say to another human being. Why do we do that? And we all do it, something we need to get better at. Well, I'm excited. I think you guys all just painted a picture of how incredible this series is and why people need to tune in to see you. So if anybody has not signed up yet for Healthy Mind, Healthy Body, the link is in everyone's bio here. I don't know whose page we're seeing this on, but each one of us have put a link in our bios that you can sign up. It is already started, but that doesn't mean you're not going to see the interviews. We're going to get an interview every day release, or 2 actually, and freebies. You guys have all been so generous with your freebies. So thank you so much, because that shows me everybody's heart with what they really want to do and help people. And we'll have another replay at the end of Healthy Mind, Healthy Body on the 28th. I'm going to release all of the videos again for anybody that registered. So you'll have another chance to get those freebies and watch that interview. And so I really hope that you join us. And thank you so much, all of you, my speakers. I'm so proud of each and every one of you.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that this is the gift. That summit that you created, Nicole, is the gift. So for everybody, just, from our hearts to the hearts of everybody who is going to join, just remember, we are coming to you and sharing everything what we've got. And all it takes is just for you to receive it with open heart and open mind and open body. So join and have fun with us.
Yes. Bye.